What up, everybody? It's your boy Frank Sirius, a.k.a. Scooby, a.k.a. the Godson. Right here with my partner in crime.
Man, I'm Dirk SiriusVybe Holmes, man, right here, man, with the guy, man, the Godson, man, the Mr. Original, man, Mr. All them names, man, 3 names, man, you know what I'm saying, man. Guess what? Guess where we are, though? Silver Hill for life.
You already know, man. And together we make up the dynamic duo of SiriusVybe Primetime.
Hey, before we get started, though, we like to let you know, there's a cruise coming your way.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, SiriusVybe.
March 30th through April 5th.
Oh, yeah, we sell in the Caribbean, and you can go to www.SiriusVybe-cruise.com, and that's SiriusVybe. Go in there and book your cabins right now. But listen, I said this for a reason. We Silver Hill for life because we got a special guest today that played with another Boys and Girls Club in the Prince George's County area. But he made it a little further than us. But
a little further.
A lot further?
Yeah, a lot further.
Hey, welcome to the show, Brian Westbrook.
Welcome to the show, B, man. What's up?
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. I've been waiting for the call. You know what I'm saying? Been waiting, and finally the call came.
Yeah, man. So before we get into all the other good stuff, man, first tell the people where you grew up and who you played Little League football for.
Oh, all right. So I grew up in Fort Washington, literally, I don't know, a couple blocks right behind Friendly High School.
Okay.
Played Boys and Girls Club for Allentown.
Oh yeah, we used to dog them too.
Who you play for?
Oh yeah, we both come from Silver Hill.
Oh, the big stop. Get out of here. Come on, man. Let me tell you something about Silver Hill. If it was 13 and under, they had 17-year-olds. If they was 95 pounds, they had 110. They never played by no rules in Silver Hill.
The same age?
Yeah.
So you played against him, right?
Yeah.
All right. So now you know
he was the youngest on the team.
He was like the best on the team, though.
He was still the youngest. Everybody else was 17, 18, 19.
Hold up, B. I never heard that representation from Silver Hill, though.
Stop.
I heard that from Peppermill. I never heard that from Silver Hill.
Oxon Hill, Silver Hill. So if they got a healing tonight, they was cheap.
So that, you know what that mean?
What's that mean?
Took them L's from us.
Well, we did pretty well.
So did you play against Julian Peterson?
No, I ain't play against.
He was a little older.
He was a little bit older, and he was way bigger. Yeah.
Okay.
He's probably about 2-3 years older than me.
Nah. You younger than me.
He got to be about 2.
He graduated in like
2
96.
years. Yeah.
You
44,
I graduated
right?
in 97. Yeah. So maybe a year or 2.
Yeah, year 2. Yeah. Okay. All right, man. That's what's up, man. Allentown. What was y'all mascot?
Arrows.
See that's how y'all know y'all was side. Allentown Arrows. And y'all colors like burgundy and gray, right?
Yeah. My brother was silver or something.
We ain't too. But listen, Silver Hill had the long sleeve football. Come on, man.
It was from the 70s.
They never changed our uniform until later on.
Yeah, you right.
Man, that was fun time.
Yeah, you right about that.
Boys and Girls Club is gone.
Which I used to play up in Benjamin Stoddard.
Yeah, Benjamin Stoddard and
we ain't play Stoddard.
No,
basketball.
Basketball.
Yeah.
Nah, we played at North Barnaby.
Potomac
High School.
Y'all used to come out the woods.
Y'all was Rose
come out
Valley
the woods.
So
you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
We came up the Abbott
Road.
Abbott Drive.
Hey, being the pro that you are, back then you was a little nervous though. It took a little longer for you, you know what I mean? Once you got to Villanova or DeMatha, you was like, I'm it. But once you was there,
I'm gonna tell you something. In Boys and Girls Club, things are going well for me. Things went well.
Yeah, you was a beast. You was a beast.
You know how it is. Everybody, we had so many good players in this area, and it all started back in the day. That's where everybody played. Boys and Girls Club. We played football, baseball, basketball.
Yeah,
everybody's playing all year long. Yeah, that's when the kids was outside. We was outside,
man.
So it's a little bit different now.
Yeah.
So what's the difference in age in your brother, Brian?
My brother is 5 years younger than me.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was born in '84.
Okay.
Played for Allentown too. Same thing. Yeah. You know.
So that means if DeMatha didn't come snag you, you probably would have been a Patriot, huh?
Yeah, I would have went to Friendly. But you know, see, here's the problem. And what I saw with public schools at the time was that a lot of the guys that were just great players, I mean, some of the best players that I've seen come from this area was playing in public school, Friendly, Oxon Hill, just great players, but they weren't going to college. And it was a credit system. They weren't having the right credits. The guidance counselors weren't giving them what they needed to prepare themselves for college. And if I didn't get a scholarship to college wasn't happening for me.
Yeah.
And so
A lot of us.
I had to put myself in a situation. My parents put me in a situation where at least I had the right things around me to prepare myself for college, and hopefully it worked out, in which it did. But it's just a lot of the young guys that were just great players, probably better than me, especially at that time. They weren't going to college the way that they should have because unfortunately, the public school system wasn't as good at the time.
Yeah. So you talked about the Mather and the program and how it pretty much is a feeder program for colleges these days. Talk about how it prepared you for your pro career and pretty much prepared you for your college days.
I think, so I was humbled. Like, I was really good in the Boys and Girls Club in 3 sports. And then my freshman year at the Mathers playing football, I didn't even play. I was on the team.
Who was in front of you?
A guy named James Dunaway, and he was real good.
Oh, good.
Like, he was, I was small. I didn't develop until I was a little bit older. And so he was big, he was strong, he was fast. He was just a great player. And I literally was on the bench. I didn't play no plays,
Wow.
offense, defense.
You was on varsity?
I was on JV. I was on freshman.
Freshman.
Freshman. I ain't even play at all. Yeah. I literally didn't get in. No plays my freshman year. My sophomore year, I got a little bit bigger, got a little bit stronger, understood the systems. And then James messed up in school. So when I tell the kids all the time, I'm like, listen, school is so important because if you give somebody else an opportunity, you may never get that opportunity back.
Yeah.
And so James messed up in school. They was like, man, we're going to bench you for a couple games. And that gave me the opportunity to play. And when that happened, I was like, I can't get a squat back because if he come back, I may never play again. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he ended up transferring after our sophomore year. And so it kind of worked out. But when you think about college,
It worked out for you.
it worked out for me. Yeah. But I mean, he had a really good career. He ended up going to Carroll.
Okay.
Still was a great player at Carroll. But it's just different roads. But when I went to DeMatha, it got me prepared for life. It got me prepared for what was next. It introduced me, for Washington at the time, still now, it was almost all black people.
Right.
But the real world that we live in, that we operate in day to day, it's 50-50, 35, 40, 70, whatever, 35, 65, whatever you want to say. It's different. Yeah. So the Mathers started me down that road to start thinking, okay, it's a little bit more than just with my boys around the way. And, it's just you start thinking differently, which was good for a young kid from Fort Washington to be able to, just explore different stuff.
So, man, the beauty of that is that, man, you got to get that diversity early on in life. So, man, I went to a HBCU, right? And once I graduated, I got my job and I started traveling to rural areas. Like I'm going to Elkins, West Virginia, these places, man. And I'm nervous, I don't know what I'm going to get into when I get there. But I get there and I tell you, it's nothing but love.
Oh, love.
But that's why we gotta expose our kids.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I tell my kids all the time, this world that we live in is about experience, it's about exposure, it's about opportunity. Yeah. And if you can have all those 3 things, you can be successful, but you gotta work for it. And and that was part of the process for me. It was part of it. Life for me has always been about the process. Yeah. Trust the process, work the process, and see where it takes you.
So now you're in your 10th grade year. Now you on JV.
JV, my 10th grade year. I played basketball and football all throughout school.
Point guard?
Played point guard. In basketball, I played on varsity towards the end of my 10th grade year. Football, I was just kind of getting in the flow of things. Things were working out. I started to develop height-wise a little bit more. And had an opportunity to play. The coaches finally said, all right, man, I think you're good enough to play. Mm-hmm. And when I had my opportunity to play, now it's about preparation. It's about knowing what you have to do. And when I got that opportunity, it was go time. Yeah. And once it was go time, it was like, all right, this is what I do. Yeah. I play ball on a different level.
But did you feel like you was better at football than other sports, or?
I always loved basketball way more than football. I always loved basketball way more. Still do. I always thought that I would have see for me, even my dad was drafted in he played baseball. He was drafted out of high school. But he didn't go. He ended up going to college. My uncles played ball. We were a sports family, so we've been competitive. So we've been always going to be super competitive. But going to the NFL wasn't my goal. My goal was to use this gift to be able to get to where I want to get, so I could be a responsible human being, to have a family, have a job, do the right things. Right. And it worked out the way that it did.
Hold up. So you was thinking about all that shit at 17?
No, I mean, I wasn't. I'll tell you, I wasn't thinking about all of it, but I wasn't thinking about the NFL.
Right,
I was thinking about, okay, how do I get to college? All right. Once I got to high school, how do I get to college? And once I got to college, then you got to figure out,
job,
what's the next thing for the job
His
opportunity?
plan was to have the normal life of the
but
not to be an NFL.
He wanted to go to college, get a good education.
Yeah, that was the goal,
and possibly get a good paying job to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But my dad was a bank manager. My mother worked for the government, and so when you see your parents grind every day, that's what you know. You're like, all right, I'm gonna just wake up for 40 years and grind.
So that go back to the exposure thing, when you got exposed to.
So do you still feel that way?
Every day. See, every day for me now is about teaching the kids. I got 3 kids, 3 little ones, and about teaching them about the grind, teaching them about what's next in life, giving them those experiences and being able to help them the best way I can. That for me, that's all I want for them. Is understand this. Nothing happens good for you without that hard work. And if you put that work in, you got a chance to be whatever you want to be in life. Period. Whether that's a sports star, whether that's a journalist, whether that's an artist, whatever that is, you got a chance to be whatever you want to be.
This is a success.
Yeah. I'm inspired, man.
Man, I'm glad you are. Because you the hold up, man.
Yeah, I'm the lazy guy.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
So
let's do more of this, man.
Yeah, we need to.
Yeah. All right. Now, back to the sports thing. How many ships did y'all get when you was at the Mather?
So my freshman year we didn't lose it all. My sophomore year we didn't lose it all. Still playing freshman in JV. My junior year we played in the city title against, I can't remember now. We ended up losing that game in the city title in basketball. Football, we won the championship. My senior year, I got hurt. My senior year, we didn't win the championship either in basketball or football my senior year, but we won probably, 3 or 4 championships while I was there.
And you ain't win nothing with Allentown.
We won championships at Allentown. Come on, stop.
Turkey Bowl don't count.
Turkey Bowl don't count. That's an important game, you know what I'm saying?
So as far as you getting into Villanova, were you already recruited there before you got hurt?
Well, so my sophomore year played a lot, 10th grade year played a lot. My junior year, going into my junior year, I was one of the highest recruited juniors in the country. A lot of people wanted me to play. I was playing running back. A lot of people wanted me to play DB. And I was getting letters from everywhere. At that time, you get letters from the coach saying, hey, we love your game. We watched the tape. We want to see you in this uniform. We want to see you in the Florida State uniform. We want to see you in the Miami uniform.
Yeah, I still got mine, so you probably ain't never got none. So, it's all good.
Yeah, nah, I ain't got it.
It's all good, brother.
Yeah, I ain't tripping.
He probably threw me away. Yeah. But, I mean, I still got mine, too. I keep doing joint for the kids. But
yeah, I still got mine.
I was one of the most highly recruited in this area, juniors in the country, really in this area. And so when you think about it, had a lot of opportunities, talked to a lot of coaches. And then the summer going into my senior year, I tore my ACL.
Wow.
And so back in 96, when you tell your ACL, people were like, man, we don't even want you no more. And so every school, like literally, I mean, I had as many scholarship offers as I possibly could think of. Every school said, nah, we good. Because I was already small and coming off an ACL, they just weren't interested. And so when it came down to it, I might have played, 4 or 5 games my senior year, football. And I was like, everybody else had scholarship opportunities, offers, and I didn't have any, zero. And so I was like, all right, I got to go play basketball. So I played basketball with a knee brace on, played all season. And at one point, the Villanova coach was like, I'm going to come and see you play. And so our basketball coach is Morgan Wooten. He said, listen, Villanova's going to come see you play. I think they're going to offer you a scholarship. So in my mind, after saying Georgetown, Villanova, the Big East was hot back in the day. St. John's, all those UConn. I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to play Big East basketball for real. And the coach, I'm sitting there smiling. I'm like, yeah, all right, that's cool. That's what's up. And he was like, man, why you smiling? I said, well, I'm about to go play big time basketball, Big East basketball. He was like, man, they don't want you to play basketball, man. What you talking about? They want you to play football. And at the time, I didn't even know Villanova had a football team.
Wow.
I just didn't know. I didn't know the school.
They not one of those schools.
They wasn't a one-day school.
And
so they offered me a scholarship. It was really between Richmond, Maryland, who was terrible at the time, and Villanova. And I had 2 boys that went to Richmond, was playing running back. Jasper Pendergrass, who went to Friendly, was a great running back at Friendly. Tyrone Turner from Clinton, who went to DeMatha, played in front of me at DeMatha, great running back, so fast. They were like, yeah, we want you to be the third dude. I'm like, nah. And so I ended up going to Villanova because I had an opportunity to play. They said, we got a senior, and right after the senior, you're going to play.
Yeah, get on the field.
And so things worked out. Things worked out for me.
And, like, you were the first player to, like, in college football to rush for 1,000 and receive for 1,000. And when you think about, like, all of the great backs that came through college, like, you were the first player to do 1,000 and 1,000. Like, how does that feel?
You got to remember, back in the day,
it was running.
They wanted running backs to run the ball. We want to hand you the ball 30 times a game, and you're going to run. We let the receivers catch. But at the time, Roger Craig had done it in the NFL, who was just a great running back in the NFL for the 49ers. And so they were like, listen, you are our best pass catcher. You're our best running back. You're our best asset for our team. We want to get you the ball however we can. And so my sophomore year, they were like, listen, we're going to throw the ball to you, we're going to hand the ball to you, and just go do you. And I was able to go off, and I ended up with, I don't know, close to 4,000 yards. But I was really close to having 1,000 yards rushing, 1,000 yards receiving, and 1,000 yards in return yards. I had like 950 return yards.
Yeah, you got like the records for, you got like 5 NCAA records, right?
Probably a couple more than that. But I mean, you know, I just, you know, college was good. They gave me the ball. They gave me the opportunity. You know, we played 1AA football.
I know it's all-purpose yards. You got some kind of records in that.
Yeah, so like, you know, again, all-purpose yards is a combination of receiving, rushing, and returns. When you look at college football as a whole, I had the most total yards, multi-purpose yards in the history of college football.
Man, that's crazy. From right here, Fort Washington, Maryland, man. Allentown Arrows.
The Arrows, man. Y'all got y'all one, man. Y'all got y'all one.
That's crazy. You know what? I'm going to have to call Jew. I thought Jew was our number one.
Man, me too. I thought we had that guy. Silver Hill's still better than Allentown, though. You know what's crazy, though? The injury was probably the blessing, right?
Yeah.
Because had you went to one of those larger schools, you probably would have been playing behind somebody and not been noticed as much.
Well, you know, when you go to the big schools, you get recruited over every year. They go get the best players in the country every year.
Yeah, every year.
And you compete, and that's not a bad thing. It just becomes harder. And, you know, sometimes you had those setbacks, and at the time, it don't look like a blessing at all. It looked like it just ruined everything.
Yeah.
And so, for me, it happened a couple times. So in '96, tore me my ACL, my junior going into my senior year of high school. Played my freshman year at Villanova, did well, started a few games, did pretty decently. Sophomore year, had 1,000, was All-American. My junior year, I tore my ACL again.
Same knee?
Same knee.
Wow.
Same knee. So my life has been full of ups and downs, adversity, fighting back, the hard work, the discipline. You know, sometimes as men, sometimes being humble and hurts is and maybe some of the best things that we need for ourselves, though. And it's hard. It's hard to accept. It's hard to understand at the time. But when you look back, you're like, oh, okay. Now it makes sense. I see where I was headed, and I know where I want to go. And those weren't intersecting at the right time. And so, you know, a little setback.
So now you at Villanova. So when does it click? NFL.
So after I came back from the injury that next year, which was really my true senior year, I was an All-American again. I was just really, really good. I was truly the best player in the country at 1AA football. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to the NFL. I don't have nothing else to prove here at Villanova. And so we was sitting down. I was sitting on the couch in my basement with my dad, and we were watching the Senior Bowl. I'm like, this dude's a bum. This dude's a bum. I could play with this dude. And I'm saying to myself, I could play with all these guys from these big schools, but I've never had an opportunity to play against them. So in my mind, I can, but what's the reality?
Right.
I don't know. And I was like, man, I'm going to go back to school because I want to play in the Senior Bowl. That was literally my only goal.
Wow, for one
going
game.
back my last year is to go play in the Senior Bowl just to see where it's at.
Right.
That's crazy.
I mean, I could have went to the NFL. So they have this process where it's called like some type of process where they say, all right, put your name and the GMs will rate you. And they'll say you'll get drafted between the first round and the third round, or the third round and the fifth round, or you ain't going to get drafted at all.
Right.
And so at the time, they said I had a draft grade between the third and the fifth. But it could have easily been the seventh, right? So, I mean, I was like, nah, I need to go back to school, bro.
Yeah.
Go back to school and just try to see what it is. So I went back to school for that, but also because of the Senior Bowl thing. And I won my senior year, I won the Walter Payton Award. So that award is the equivalent for 1AA of the Heisman. So it's literally the best player in 1AA football.
Yeah.
And I probably should have won it my junior year. Didn't happen. Won it my senior year. It worked out. You know, when you start doing those types of things, you start opening eyes a little bit. And it was helpful.
So that year of coming back got you to the third round.
Yeah. So it was probably 6 or 7 running backs that went before me. Liddell Betts got drafted by y'all. A couple other dudes that I just knew that I was better than.
You had to bring that up, didn't
Man, who was our GM then, man? Who was our GM?
you? Man, I'm tired of these. Bad times around here.
But I ended up, you know, a lot of guys went before me, and I was hoping to get drafted. I didn't know where I was going to get drafted to. A lot of people were saying, listen, you're only going to play on special teams, maybe some third down stuff. In fact, so when I went to the Senior Bowl, right, so I'm practicing all week, just doing well, you know, competing. And the goal really there is to show people that you got speed, that you can catch, and that you can compete against the better guys. And so I was doing that all week. And so literally I'm walking to the locker room right before the game. The running back coach said, listen, I'm only going to play you on third downs and special teams. I'm like, what you talking about? This is an all-star game. He was like, nah. People don't think you can be, you're not an every down back. We only going to play you on special teams and third down because that's what the NFL thinks you're going to be. And I took offense to that.
Yeah.
I was hurt. I was pissed off about that. I'll never forget, Stump Mitchell was a coach. He was a good player when he played.
Yeah,
but
Stump Mitchell. Yeah, he was
I'm like, look, man, this is an all-star game. Everybody need an opportunity to shine. He's like, nah, we ain't going to do that. And so that was kind of that chip that I had on my shoulder my entire career. Like, I got to prove people wrong. That's the one thing that I just didn't feel comfortable with, that people say just because you're this size or just because you can't do that or you're not this, you're not Derrick Henry, you're not Eddie George, you're not this guy, you're not that guy, you can't do it. And I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that if you're talented, you just put the ball in his hands and see what the deal is. And so that game, he only played me on third downs and on special teams. And that hurt. You know what I'm saying? That hurt. And so ended up getting drafted in the third round. Didn't know I was going to get drafted. The Eagles, they kind of surprised me. But in the end, Andy Reid had came to a couple of my games while I was at Villanova, because Villanova right outside of Philly. He had come to a couple of my games, seen me play. His kids had seen me play, and they really loved me.
Wow.
They was a little bit younger than me. They were probably middle school at the time, and it just worked out.
Man, shout out Andy Reid, man.
Man, shout out, man. Much love, man. All right, so look, man. You here in the area, you live here, you grow up here. Can I say it?
Yeah.
What was your favorite team?
Yeah, no, they don't like when I say it, but I mean, I was here. I'm from DC, so I mean, you know,
You was a Redskin fan?
I was a Redskin fan at the time. I mean, and plus they was winning.
Yeah,
they was good. You talking about the late '80s, early '90s?
Shout out to the Redskins.
They was winning. Yeah. Super Bowl, Doug Williams, all the boys. You know, they was killing at the time. So
And then how long it take once you put the Eagles uniform on? That's it.
Hey, once you go into the draft, you like, all right, whatever team I get drafted, that's my team. Like,
for me, it would have been that first check.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, you know that first check coming.
That first check had the
whoever name is on there, that's the name.
I'm an Eagles fan.
Yeah. So I mean, but you know what? You never stop being a fan of the area. You still root for the team, but it's a different type of rooting. Like, I mean, I want y'all to win, but I don't want y'all to beat us. You know what I'm saying?
See how you say y'all?
I want y'all to win, but I mean, you know.
So, man, I remember playing for his birthday party up in Brooklyn, right? He had all his ex-Eagles teammates there with him.
Oh, yeah? How you feel?
I ain't feel that good. I mean, truthfully, man, you know what I mean? He had some greats there. It was some the Eagles, man. They was good teams back in the day. And our guy was there, Donovan McNabb. You know, he was a little salty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was cool.
Hold up. Was this Eagles Donovan McNabb or Redskins Donovan McNabb?
After the Redskins, this is retired.
Oh,
Donovan
okay.
McNabb.
I bet.
That's the retired guy.
Yeah, it was my 40th. Yeah.
He's retired Eagles.
Yeah.
So McNabb
Dom was good for y'all though, wasn't he? Did he ain't play well? I thought he played
He
all right.
ain't play well for y'all.
No, don't do that.
about?
Donovan's in the
Hall.
He's a Hall of Fame caliber player.
Left y'all at the end of his tenure with the Eagles.
Yeah.
He was throwing the ball in the ground.
I don't know. He was good when he got there.
Who he's playing with here?
Me?
I mean, I know
it was
Portis
just
still here.
It was a bad time, man.
Santana wasn't here no more.
We just had Clinton.
Oh yeah.
It was just
I
Clinton.
don't even know who was on that.
James
You can't work miracles.
We had James Thrash.
No,
he was number one receiver.
No, y'all ain't had
Nah, but he wasn't. He was going through it with
He was
the
at the
coaches
end
too,
of his
though.
career.
Yeah, he was
at the
going
end
through
of
it with the
career.
coaches.
Yeah.
So you was on the team when he threw up in the huddle?
I don't even remember though. See, I was in the huddle. That was in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember him throwing up neither.
Right.
Though. So I mean, I was dead, but you know,
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say that.
Is that the Eagle code that you ain't supposed to tell nobody?
Hey, look, all I know. This is what I know.
I can't confirm or deny.
Yeah, I can't confirm or deny any of that. But I don't think he threw up. But I do know on that drive he threw a touchdown pass. So I mean, you know, at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I was rooting for y'all. Yeah, y'all got cheated. Y'all got work.
Here's the thing: we lost by 3. We had 3 turnovers. Might have been 4 turnovers. You can't beat the Patriots when you turn the ball over.
Nah.
You just can't do it. They just too good.
yeah. Tom ain't gonna let it go back. He ain't gonna give it back.
So I had the honor, man, when we was at your birthday party, you know, you got all the Eagles guys there, right? All of them. So we there, and y'all letting us know how we gonna fare that next year. Y'all saying, man, your coach gonna get fired.
He got fired.
We only gonna be this good. Y'all actually was right. Y'all was professional athletes that made the right call for that year. But how you feel about us now?
No. I like what y'all doing now. I think y'all on the right trajectory. You changed the culture. The most important, the hard part about DC football has always been, like this. Even when I was playing, when I would come home on our off week, and I'm in the club, they in the club every day.
Yeah.
Like every day. Like you can't win like that.
Yeah.
The culture was off, right? At some point, one of the leaders had to say, "Look, this ain't it. We got to stay out the club." You know what I'm saying? So they
in the club with you,
and they don't got no off.
Hey,
and they won it.
They working, like you know what I'm saying. So it's just they wasn't focused, man. And at some point, you got to get that focus back. You have to have a leader that says, "Man, look, this is serious, but we all making money, but we want to win. Most importantly, we want to win." And it just seemed like they didn't have that person.
Nah.
And so that's what happened.
Seemed like
bro.
we got it now.
But now, so look, you change the coach, you change the ownership, get yourself a new coach that ain't gonna go for that. Get yourself a young quarterback that want to win. He's used to winning, and hopefully the culture changes.
Yeah.
If the culture changes, then the team has an opportunity. They got talent. You can't tell me they don't have talent. They have talent on both offense and defense. But if the culture don't change, it don't matter what you got.
Yeah.
SiriusVybe.